It's been nearly 15 years since your group debut, 10
Mhm.
since your solo debut, and in the music world that really moves so quickly. At least it feels like to a fan. Does
Yeah.
it feel like it's been that long to you?
Yeah, it feels like, uh, wow, a long time ago. Like, I feel like when, I see a lot of, K-pop being discussed nowadays, it's so different, and I think that probably has to do with social media, and then now just, like, things being able to come over to the Western world, and, it's really cool to see that, I guess, that progression, but for me, it's like, man, I haven't been to Korea in a while. Like last year, I think in November was like the first time I went back to Korea in like 4 or 5 years. So it's 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 really nostalgic.
I just heard Dusk Till Dawn, and first of all, it is an incredibly fun song. So can you tell me a little bit about it?
Funny story about this song was that I was at the studio and I overheard like a room just playing a beat, and I went over to my manager. I was like, "Can we get that song?" And then that song turned out to be Dust Till Dawn. I met with the writer and the producer, Dirk Pate and Sean Carson, and we just basically vibed. And then we changed a couple things here and there, but the song was just kind of like those like, hey, let's go, let's run away from the world. I kind of pictured in a more innocent tone. I pictured a back in the days, those like early 2000s 90s movies where like the guy's like holding out a radio asking the girl to come down. I kind of pictured like something like that. But for me, the song is just kind of a like an exploration of like, you know, just kind of rebelling a tiny bit and like just it's just me and you, it's me and you against the world type of thing. And it's just, hey, it's just for one for Dusk Till Dawn, from oh my god, sorry, it's only from Dusk Till Dawn is all I need you for. And it's just kind of that like fun love story.
Does the music video? What was the thought process behind planning for that music video?
um my fans know that I can hide very deep meanings to my music videos, so I wouldn't want to spoil it. I definitely want to leave it up to the viewer to interpret it the way that they want. But I think I should just leave it at that because there's switcheroos for a reason. I The team and I, we when we were first discussing it, I've been working on this script for about like three months, and then finally when it landed with the Kinjas, who were amazing and longtime friends, we worked together on trying to. It was hard to explain to them what it was because it's vague in itself, and it's part of the Amber universe in my head. But I I also just wanted to push myself in a way where I was out of my shell. And Jozar, the choreographer, did an amazing job, just kind of making me feel comfortable and kind of pushing my boundaries and like, but making sure I was okay at the same time. So it was a really fun process. The story again is I don't want to share too much because it's up to the viewer to interpret it themselves. But yeah, it's spicy, I guess.
You could definitely say that, and I have to say, it will 100% be on my most replayed song for this entire year. It's so
Thank you.
fun, and it's really just so upbeat, and the choreography with the guy on the street, that part, that's
Mhm.
such a fun video. So
Yeah, the team and I just really wanted to. I just want to make music that people can dance to as well. I think it's like I have my sad side and I have my happy side, so you're gonna get all of it.
which is funny. One of my favorite songs of yours is "Don't Dance."
Yeah, it's an ironic song. It's like that song was actually funny enough. I like pictured like people like I picture people at a club, and then like there's people at tables and they want to get into that typical things that happen at clubs. And then I was like, oh no, I don't dance with you, but I also wanted to dance in it. So my music has a lot of ironic points.
So you're starting your tour in Seattle, which is so exciting. Um, but the tour name is also No More Sad Songs. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
and in November, you had a song called "Hate Myself." So
Mhm.
tell me a little bit about the meaning behind the tour title.
So the tour title, and I guess this album of this era of Amber, is I just wanted to be confident at being at peace with myself at whatever state I was, whether I was, really angry or really frustrated at a situation or just sad, like any negative emotion. I feel like I've always been pushing away and not really wanting to process. It's just like, yeah, I'll forget about it, it's fine. But I took a lot of time to really embrace those emotions and not be ashamed of those emotions and just kind of just be human. um I know that I'm a huge perfectionist, but I will never reach perfection. So it's being at peace with that constant like battle in my head, and learning that, wow, like, and actually, sorry, it's like actually sinking in that, like, I'm a human being that can grow, that will have her bad days and good days, will have a lot of craziness and a lot of quietness, and just to learn that that's part of life. So like with Hate Myself, that song was written at a really, really not good time in my life. And it's usually when I think when people see me, and I too expect this of myself, is to be that person to, like, lift people up. Like, I can, like, hey guys, we can do it. I've always kind of been that person within, friend groups, and like when we go work out, I'm always like, guys, let's get it. But you know, I was I'm tired. I don't have that strength anymore. And that was very weird to me, that I I just don't have the hope and that drive anymore. So um but there's something inside of me that just told me, like, you got to keep going, you got to keep going. But also just realizing that my head just didn't want me to. So this album has, like, there's very happy songs, there's very sorry, is there sad, yeah, there's are sad songs. This album has an array of, like, happy music, quirky music, sad music. So it's that whole, I guess, thought process of me going through that.
If someone's attending this tour of yours and they've never seen you on tour before, what can they expect?
I think they can expect a lot of I like to have in my concerts, like, a space for the fans to really just kind of take the show as well. Yeah, definitely came to see me perform. I'm gonna put on the best show that I can. But I always love my fans also kind of taking the reins sometimes. So expect a lot of screaming, a lot of jumping. It's gonna be really fun. And I have done a couple. I've done a couple performances with this set, so it's different every single time. And I'm just really excited to see what the Seattle fans have for me.
As someone who's toured, as you know, as a group in the K-pop industry and as a soloist, do you have a preference over solo versus group tours?
Oh, they're both great. It's just a different vibe. I think on stage, when I'm by myself, yes, I'll have, like, the freedom to kind of run around and uh, just be, I think, just me. But then I also can say that the same with being in a group setting. I've done a couple collabs throughout the years, and it's it's just it's honestly just less lonely. But then again, I also have my bandmates on stage, and I have my dancers. So it's always just a party. It's just, are we doing a quiet ballad party, or are we doing, like, a high energy, like, EDM party? So I love both. I will continue to do both, as I have a lot of songs in the vault with friends. So hopefully in the future, you know, whatever happens, happens, and I hope the fans are there to see it.
Is there a dream venue you want to perform at, or is that dream venue on your list for this show?
I'm going back to Irving Plaza in New York, and that was actually the first place I played solo. I think what 4 years ago. So it's a kind of nice to go back to some venues that I performed at like for my first tour because I really wanted this tour to be intimate. I wanted it to be a time where the fans and I could just really reconnect. And since it's like my first tour in 3 years, and I'm a different person. I feel like I've grown up a lot. My music has changed a lot. My band, oh my gosh, they're amazing. My dancers are amazing. So I just can't wait to kind of just see the fans again and just be all like, "Hey, what's up?"
Is there anything you're looking forward to, like exploring or experiences on the tour outside of the stage?
I always really like to just walk around the city when I get there if there's time, and then the team and I will just kind of go look for like food spots or Seattle donuts. I always remember it was Seattle had donuts. That's what I remembered.
On tour, what are those must-have items that you have to have to really? Because especially you're doing different states every other night or something like that. So, what are those must-have items that you need to have?
I got to bring the Nintendo Switch. You got to play games, and I have board games as well. One Night Werewolf is one that we love to play, like just to bond with each other. Sometimes we have new dancers or crewmates come in, so it's just a good time to bond with each other. It gets really heated. One Night Werewolf, love that game. Another one is like humidifiers, something like every I've traveled so much in the past year. Humidifiers pretty much saved my life because you even if you go from like dry to like very humid, you never know what's gonna go on. And then you go back to a dry city and it's just like you're just coughing. So anything to like lubricate the throat, so humidifiers, throat spray, like cough drops, if anything, honey. Honey is I think the key ingredient in a lot of things that I consume for that. And then honestly, I think this is typical things like phone and iPad, uh, earphones. When you're on the road, you're always kind of around people. I sometimes I need my space, so I just kind of like put in the earphones and just kind of like zone out and kind of uh, just calm down, I guess, and like get focused in the zone.
What are some of the biggest changes you've seen in the industry since your debut until now? And I know you haven't been in Korea in a while, so it could be kind of overall. What are some of the biggest changes you've seen?
I feel like the genres are more various. K-pop artists, it's not just like, okay, we're just doing dance music now. You can do hip hop, you can do EDM, you can do a really really slow ballad, but you can also put a beat to that and do R&B. There was that when I was there, but I don't think it was to the point that it is now. Uh, on top of that, I feel like I think the internet has definitely changed a lot of things. It changed a lot of things for me in my generation, but how I think back then there was a feeling of there's a divide between the fans and an artist. Now, Instagram, X, YouTube have given platforms, and there's like my friend tells me there's these apps where you can directly message fans as well. There's platforms like that now that are really cool. Like I have my own Discord community, and I just like talk with them for like 30 minutes when I can. I have to go back to do that. Oops. But there is a direct line to get to know an artist, which is actually pretty cool.
For someone who may not know your music at all, who's never heard any like solo FX anything, what is one song that you think they need to start with?
I still feel maybe that's hard. That's really hard.
My next
Ah,
question will open it up to a little bit more.
yeah. Okay. Um, to start with my discography, let's just go with Dusk Till Dawn. I feel like that's very, very in between all of the very extreme parts of me. Like I'm really sad and really, really happy. I think Dusk Till Dawn is that middle ground. It's dancey too, which I love to dance, and it has that really chill vibe, which is very, very current for me. Current, which is very current for me right now to be just kind of chill. So yeah, Dusk Till Dawn.
And then on top of that, if you were going to create like a get to know Amber playlist for a new fan, what are some of those other songs you would add that the songs that you think they have to know about you?
I want to say "Easier" is a good one with Jackson. That was a fun song. Other people, I really like "Blue" off of my YEP. "Don't Dance" is a really fun one. I think I have like a very silly side to me. So I feel like "Don't Dance" is a good representation of that side of me. I really like "Can't Go Yet," which I did with my friend Scott Ho Ying, and I had to choose one more. Um, my manager actually really loves this song. It's called "Numb." It was off of my X EP. I think those are the bullet points to get to know me.
I'll have to go make an actual playlist of just those songs and listen to it all to see the different sides. Um,
Yeah.
when people look at you as an artist, what do you hope that they know about you?
I hope that they know I'm a chameleon. That I want to make every single project different, and that I'm always trying to grow and challenge myself. Uh, because the most important to that's the most important thing to me as an artist is growth and evolution. And that I think that I'll always be doing something fun to me, that I'm enjoying the process, that um I'm trying to put out like things that really mean something to me. And I hope that, whoever's listening to it, that it resonates with them, or it's the background music of their day or something. I'm happy with whatever.
We just finished up 2023, and you're starting out 2024 with a new tour. What was the most memorable moment of your 2023?
I actually will say my 2023, looking back on everything, it's actually the first year in a very long time where the year ended and I was like, man, I'm proud of myself. I think the years before that, something was going on, something happened, and I always ended the year in this like, I don't want to go back to that year. I'm so glad it's over. This new year is going to be better. But 2023, uh, I I can't say that it's actually one of my favorite years. I would want to say I can't. There's so many moments where I was like, oh, that like this is awesome. But I think the year as a whole was the first time in many, many years where it ended and I was like, wow, I'm so proud of myself. Um, Definitely won't be doing certain things in 2024, but it was good to go through and I learned from it. I had a lot of good memories, not only with my team, but my friends, the fans as well. There was one specific moment when I was performing in Hangzhou in China, and that venue had around, I think a little over, I think it was like around 1,500 people. And it was very close. The stage was very close to the fans. And I just remember singing Can't Go Yet. And I have sung it many times in different cities, but that specific city, because the fans were so close and they were just singing the lyrics back at me. And that song, it's a kind of heavy song if you kind of really dissect it. For me, it was a very personal song. And I don't know, just hearing that the words sung back to me just gave me this sense of like I had a bunch of people hugging me, I guess. And I think that was like one of my core memories, I guess, of last year. Another one was I was on this show called Ride the Wind, where I participated with a bunch of different people from the industry. I guess you would say they're 30 veteran women in the industry, and I think that whole experience, those 4 months itself, was really crazy because I was a leader and I was teaching people how to dance. I was running around doing production work. I was running to the choreographer, being like, "Hey, what is the stage lighting for?" Like, it was a whole bunch of just like, what? Wait, what did I just do? So 2023 is, I think, one of the most fun years I've had in a long time.
And then finally, for 2024, you just had such an incredible 2023. What are you hoping to do or to accomplish in this year?
I think this year is this is gonna be a very boring answer, but I don't like it's a adulting and work-life balance. Um, I think I lost a lot of hours of sleep last year. And but I'm trying to find time to take care of my health because it's I'm getting older. And I'm like, oh yeah, I'm not 18 anymore. But that's because I want to continue to like dance my butt off on stage and sing to the best of my ability, and just put out the best music every single time. uh so there's that, and then spend more time with my puppy, which is right here, very very needy. um and yeah, just I think just trying to travel more around the world, more than now. Like, I don't know how else I can travel more than right now, but more traveling. If you haven't checked out my new song Dusk Till Dawn, check that out. We have 23 cities on this in the next couple months on the No More Sad Songs tour. If your city is not on there, feel free to spam my Instagram, my X, my Threads, to tell my team where you want me to go, because I will definitely try to go.